All right, follow me as we verify the identity. All right, here's the identity. Secant squared theta minus 1 divided by secant squared theta is equal to sine squared theta. All right, let's go through the rules again, although I have already went through this rule. So if you want to really go through these rules, or maybe you can watch the previous videos we have on verification of the identity. All right, let's just go through the identity now. All right, so the identity looks like this. And the first rule we have is to pick a side, left-hand side or the right-hand side. And rule 1 says that you need to pick a side that is more complicated. All right, so you need to pick, is it the left or is it the right? Now, which one is more complicated? I think the left side looks complicated to me, so we will pick the left side. And the second rule is to rewrite the identity, trigonometric identities into a sine or a cosine. All right, so in here on the left side we have secant squared, so we need to think of an identity that we can replace for secant squared, something that has sine and cosine. All right, and what do you think? Oh, we do have identities. Secant can be replaced by 1 over cosine. And since the given is secant square, we can also square cosine. 1 over cosine square. Right? So we will replace secant now with 1 over, or secant square will be replaced with 1 over cosine square theta. All right? And we'll do that. All right? So the next one is we will now substitute the identity and replace secant square. So this is now the left side. So this is the left side. And here we replaced secant square by cosine, 1 over cosine square. So this is it. So 1 over cosine square theta, and we subtract 1 divided by secant square is also replaced by 1 over cosine square theta. All right. So what do we do now? This is now the left side. Remember, this is just the left side. We will work on the left side. All right. So what we will do, if we look at the numerator, if you look at the numerator, it's actually in fraction. So we have a fraction minus 1. So what we will do is we will simplify the numerator, because we have here a fraction minus 1. So the numerator looks like this, right? We have a fraction minus 1. How can we simplify that? To simplify that, we will make it as a fraction. We will make 1 as a fraction. So if we will make 1 as a fraction, there will be similar fractions. So we will think of how can we make 1 as a fraction? We can do it as cosine squared minus divided by cosine squared. That's 1, right? Cosine squared divided by cosine squared is 1. And if you look at it, so this one is actually has a denominator of cosine squared. The first one also has a denominator of cosine squared. So they are now similar fractions, right? Like fractions, right? And we can combine them since we have the same denominator. So if we combine them, it would be like this. 1 minus cosine squared theta over cosine squared theta. All right? And remember, we're still like simplifying the numerator, right? And we can use a Pythagorean identity again. We know that sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta is equal to 1, right? That's one of the identities that we already know. If you don't know that, please kindly review all those trigonometric identities. And here, why do we need to pick this Pythagorean identity? That is because we can actually replace this by a Pythagorean identity, right? We can replace, for example, because we have 1 minus cosine squared, we can replace 1 minus cosine squared by sine squared. It is actually from here, right? So if we move this one to the, so it's actually, you can rearrange it, and you can have 1 minus cosine squared is equal to sine squared. That means we can replace the numerator here by sine squared theta. Okay, here you go. So the numerator becomes, so it was something like this, right? And we replace this one with the identity sine square divided by cosine square. So it would be sine squared theta divided by cosine square theta. And then that's not yet, it's not yet over, right? We're not yet done, all right? We still have to go back to the fraction, right? All right. So substitute back to the fraction, all right? All right, so it would be something like this. So if we put it back to the fraction, so we will have something like this. Sine square divided by cosine square. Remember, we still have to divide it with 1 over cosine square. I want you to go back to the original one. No, we actually didn't write that one, right? We will only simplifying this part. Right? So we simplified it as sine squared theta divided by cosine squared theta. Now we put back 1 divided by cosine squared theta. Right? So that is now the new expression we have. That's the new expression we have. All right? What will we do next? We will now simplify the complex fraction. All right? We remember, look at the fraction, we actually dividing it by 1 over cosine squared, right? This one, right? We divide it by 1 over cosine squared. And what happens if we divide it by 1 over cosine squared? We can actually multiply it by cosine squared, right? Because when we multiply, when we divide two fractions, what happens when we divide two fractions? We can invert the denominator, right? So we can invert the denominator. We can invert this one, right? So it would be like this. So this is the numerator. We didn't do anything on that. And then we invert the denominator. Cosine squared theta over 1. And what happens when we inverted it? Oh, we can actually cancel cosine square. Right? So what is left is sine squared theta divided by 1, or simply sine squared theta. And that is exactly the same in the right side, because the right side is sine squared theta. Therefore, we have proven that this is indeed equal to sine squared theta. All right? That's easy. That's easy, right? All right, so I hope you can follow me. I will be putting this into a playlist called Trigonometric Identity. So if you want to review all the problems on proving identities, go to that playlist. All right. Thank you so much for watching.